tuning. Tao, hulaga, huli-huli ka, di ko nasa kawawa. Huwag ka napapansin, huwag ka magaling. May tamang balita, malita, mamay tamang.
Chef! Dissect! Okay lang yan lang. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Raven Jonathan Pamatmat Montenegro.
And I am Rhea Romero Magsino, reporting for
May Tamang Balita, Product and Service Design Special. A service design is the activity of planning and organizing people, infrastructure, communication, and material components of a service in order to improve its quality and the interaction between service provider and customers.
while product design is concerned with the efficient and effective generation and development of ideas through a process that leads to new products.
To sum all things up, product and service design is very important not only to the organization but also to the entire market. Both product and service design are used to benefit the organization and the customers.
Now, what does product and service design do?
First, they translate customer wants and needs into product and service requirements. Second, they refine our existing products and services. Third, they develop new products and services. Fourth, they formulate quality goals. Fifth, they formulate cost targets. Sixth, they construct and test prototypes. Seventh is to document specifications. And the last is to translate product and service specifications into process specifications.
Let us use a fast food restaurant as an example. A mother coming home late for dinner finds that purchasing food is easier than cooking. If the fast food chain is selling one-piece chicken with rice, now it offers food by bulk or for family servings. Also, a fast food chain offers additional food in the menu such as desserts and appetizers. Its quality goals are to provide delicious food on the go for its customers. The managers must have foreseen the everyday consumption so that nothing could go to waste. After having a new product, the fast food chain can offer free taste to test their product. If the free taste is acceptable by the public, the organization must write down the specific ingredients for its recipe. Lastly, your product is ready to be sold.
Of course, there are reasons for designing or redesigning products and services.
Market changes which may lead to product or service design or redesign may be any of these two. One is threat and the other is market opportunities.
When we say threat, these are factors which may harm the business entity.
On the other hand, market opportunities may lead to the entity's prosperity and growth.
For some additional information, here is an exclusive report from my partner.
For product and service design or redesign. This could be economic, social, or demographic, competitive, cost or availability of materials or labor, and technological. When we say economic, this may lead to cost reduction or increase in revenue or profit. When it comes to social or demographic, this pertains to our target market group. For example, is the aging baby boomers. When we say political liability or legal, these are changes in the laws or policies which concerns the operations of our business. An example is when Adamson University prohibited the usage of styrofoams and plastics within the campus. The canteens within the university shifted to paper cups and paper boxes instead of those styrofoams and plastics. And next is competitive. When we say competitive, these are changes done by an entity in order to have an edge against the others which has the same line of business as they have. For example, or barber shops. For a barber shop to have an edge against the others, they may offer free massage or free shampoo aside from the major service that they offer, which is haircut. Next is technological. When we say technological, these are changes due to the ever-changing technology or trends in technology. An example here is the Wi-Fi ready feature of the gadgets like laptops and cell phones. This enables the users of laptops and cell phones to search the web using the wireless fidelity. That's all.
So thank you, Rhea, for that wonderful news. Now, before coming up with a decision to redesign a product, there are considerations to be taken into account.
First, we should view it from our consumer side. As consumers, there are two fundamental considerations. One is cost and the other is quality or performance. The question will be, what would I get from that product? Or is the product worth the price?
From the viewpoint of the business, there are also factors that we need to consider. Before coming up with a design for a new product or service, we should know if there is demand for it, and how long would that demand last. Will it be seasonal, or will the demand go on? Then, we should be able to know if the product is doable. Meaning, in case of a service provider, in terms of its serviceability, or if our skills would be enough to do such service.
In case of a manufacturing firm, it's manufacturability in which we measure our raw material resources and others. We also need to know the expectations of our customers towards our product in terms of quality.
And of course, we compare the cost and benefit from the new design that we are planning. For example, if our new products would cost us less liability and expenses, then it could be worth it.
Another issue which concerns product and service design is legal and ethical considerations.
In line with that, there are government sectors which regulate the safety of a particular product. Manufacturers should come up with a design which is acceptable to both the government regulators and the customers.
Product liability is the responsibility of a manufacturer for injuries or damages caused by a faulty product because of poor workmanship or design. An example in this issue is about the Toyota in US. Let us watch this report coming from our news associate based in US.
1 week after announcing a major vehicle recall due to accelerator pedals that stick, Toyota is suspending U.S. sales of those vehicles, 8 models in all. It's a decision that caught many by surprise.
It doesn't seem like a major problem, but for it just to be that simple and not correctable and to be in production, it's kind of surprising.
Toyota says it's suspending sales of the 2010 Highlander, the 2009 and 2010 RAV4s, Corollas, and Matrix. Also, several years of Avalons, Camrys, Tundras, and Sequoias. As part of the plan, Toyota is halting production at 5 manufacturing facilities for the week of February 1st. It says it needs to assess and coordinate activities.
I think it's a good thing. They probably should have done it a few weeks ago when they were saying it was gas pedal and, the floor mats.
I think everybody has issues, from time to time. Things happen, mistakes happen.
It's unclear how long the suspension of those vehicles will last. Last week's recall involved more than 2 million vehicles. Ross Simpson, The Associated Press.
Let us move on to sustainability.
When we say sustainability, it pertains to the capability of a product or service to maintain its steady level without exhausting natural resources or causing severe ecological damage.
There are several ways by which a business organization can achieve sustainability. This includes the life cycle assessment, reduction of costs and materials used, reuse of parts of returned products, and recycling.
First, we go to life cycle analysis or life cycle assessment, which is the evaluation of the effects of a product or service to the environment from cradle to grave. It means that the process of acquiring raw materials up to its disposal or recovery.
Let us watch this video.
the life cycle analysis, the manufacturer will examine a certain model to see its possible impacts to the environment from the time of material acquisition up to the time of its disposal. After that, they will draw conclusion about whether the procedure is worth it and if they can find a less harmful method to follow in manufacturing their products. This process allows companies to see what effect their product or services have towards the environment and allows them to choose the least harmful course of action.
The next is the reduction of costs and materials used. This aspect includes the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Value analysis is an analysis of a process, physical item, or people to determine if the function can be performed more cost-effectively and efficiently while meeting the needs of the function. For example, your machineries would be the subject of your analysis.
You should identify its functions and its roles in your business. If in case the function of your machinery can be efficiently done by another with less cost, you can make a decision to eliminate that machinery for the purpose of cost reduction.
Another way of achieving a sustainability is by reusing or remanufacturing.